So नमस्कार all of you. तो हमारा लास्ट ईयर जदि हमें देखिबा ओडिशा जुडिशियल सर्विस रे सो हमारा केते गुडे क्वेश्चंस एनालिटिकल और प्रॉब्लम टाइप रो पड़ी सो ए जो क्वेश्चंस उडा सेट 1 एटा प्रोसीजरल और हम ईच स्टैट्यूट को जोडा एग्जाम रे आउची पेपर रो से हिसाब रे हमें किछटा एप्लीकेशन की प्रॉब्लम बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस करिबा तो एई तीनटा क्वेश्चन मु गुड दिन आगुरु दोची तो आपण मन ताको प्रॉपर्ली देखिबे लाइव क्लास रे मु कहिबी तार केमती कोन सॉल्यूशन करिवार अछि ओके सो फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन देखंतु Mr. Anil, a resident of Delhi, entered into a contract with Mr. Sunil, a resident of Mumbai, for the supply of certain goods. The contract was signed in Mumbai and the delivery of goods was to take place in Delhi. A dispute arose between them regarding the quality of goods supplied. Mr. Anil filed a suit in District Court of Delhi seeking damages for the breach of contract. Mr. Sunil, in response, filed an application challenging the jurisdiction of the Delhi court, claiming the proper jurisdiction lies in Mumbai since the contract was signed there. During the proceedings, it was discovered that Mr. Anil had already filed a similar suit regarding the same matter in Mumbai District Court a month prior, which was still pending. Mr. Sunil raised this point as an objection, citing the principle of res sub judice under the Code of Civil Procedure 1908. Additionally, Mr. Sunil sought to implead a third party, Mr. Raj, who resides in Bangalore and was involved in supply chain, claiming that defective goods were sourced through him. Mr. Anil opposed this, arguing that inclusion of Mr. Raj would complicate the matter and that his presence is not necessary for adjudication of the dispute. एबे आ उपरे ए जो सिचुएशन उपरे आपनको पांचटा क्वेश्चन दिया हिची each question 5 marks रो analyze the grounds on which Mr. Sunil is challenging the jurisdiction of the Delhi District Court. Discuss the principles of jurisdiction under the CPC that the court should consider in this case. Explain the principle of res sub judice under section 10 of CPC. Evaluate whether Mr. Sunil's objections regarding the pending suit in the Mumbai District Court is valid and what impact it has on suit filed in Delhi. Excuse me. Discuss the provisions under Order 1 Rule 10 of CPC regarding the addition of parties. Should the court allow Mr. Sunil's request to implead Mr. Raj as defendant in this suit? Justify your answers with relevant provisions and case laws. Assuming the Delhi District Court decides to hear the case, outline the steps Mr. Anil must follow to proceed with this suit, considering the objections raised by Mr. Sunil. If the Delhi court decides it does not have the jurisdiction and transfers the case to Mumbai, what procedural steps need to be taken under CPC for the transfer of suit? Okay, it has आपण assume करंतु कि transfer करिया पे चाहुचंता एटा first question CPC ऊपर. Okay, now the second question. Mr. Suresh Sharma, a well-known businessman in Mumbai, was found dead in his office under suspicious circumstances. The initial investigation by local police revealed that there was no sign of forced entry, but several important documents and significant amount of cash was missing from the office. Mr. Rohan Mehta, an employee of Mr. Sharma, was arrested based on circumstantial evidence, including his fingerprints found at the scene and a recent argument that he had with Mr. Sharma. Rohan was taken into police custody for interrogation. During the interrogation, Rohan alleged that he was coerced into confessing the crime under duress and physical assault by police officers. Rohan's lawyer filed a petition in Sessions Court challenging the legality of his arrest and admissibility of his confession. Meanwhile, Mr. Sharma's family hired a private investigator who discovered new evidence suggesting that another employee, Mrs. Anjali Verma, had a possible motive and opportunity to commit the crime. Based on this new evidence, the family requested the court to direct the police to include Mrs. Verma in the investigation. Now the questions: discuss the procedures for introducing new evidence and including additional suspects in a criminal investigation under the CRPC. How should the court proceed with the request to investigate Mrs. Anjali Verma? Explain the bail provisions under CRPC. Is Rohan entitled to bail under the circumstances described? What factors will the court consider in deciding on his bail application? What legal recourse is available against police officers who allegedly use coercion or physical assault during interrogation under the CRPC? How can Rohan seek justice for the alleged misconduct? Who bears the burden of proof in a criminal case under CRPC? How does this apply to both prosecution and defense in the given scenario? Differentiate between judicial custody and police custody under CRPC. In what situations can an accused be moved from police custody to judicial custody? Okay, CRPC upar thila. Now coming to evidence. Mr. Anil Kumar, a reputed industrialist, was found dead under mysterious circumstances in his mansion in Hyderabad. The initial investigation pointed towards a possible murder due to the presence of shattered vase and signs of a struggle in living room. The police arrested Mr. Ravi Sharma, a former employee of Mr. Kumar, who had been recently fired under contentious circumstances. During the investigation, several pieces of evidence were gathered. CCTV footage from mansion showing Mr. Sharma entered the house on night of incident. A blood-stained shirt recovered from Mr. Sharma's house. Testimonies from Mr. Sharma's neighbor claiming they had a loud argument on the night of incident. Digital records of threatening emails allegedly sent by Mr. Sharma to Mr. Kumar. An expert's report indicating that fingerprints found on the shattered vase matched that of Mr. Sharma. A confession by Mr. Sharma claiming that he was at the mansion to collect his belongings but denying involvement in murder, alleging that he confessed under police coercion. Mr. Sharma's defense team challenges the admissibility of the CCTV footage and the confession, claiming that they were tampered with and obtained under duress. They also argue that blood-stained shirt was planted by police to frame Mr. Sharma. Ebe questions alla. Discuss sabuda 5 marks. Discuss the provisions of Indian Evidence Act related to admissibility of electronic records such as CCTV footage. What must the prosecution establish for the CCTV footage to be admitted as evidence? Analyze the legal framework governing the admissibility of confessions under the Indian Evidence Act. How should the court evaluate Mr. Sharma's claim that his confession was coerced? Evaluate the role of expert testimony under Indian Evidence Act. What criteria should the court use to assess reliability and credibility of experts' fingerprint analysis? Analyze the relevance and admissibility of evidence related to motive and circumstantial evidence. How should the court approach the evidence suggesting Mr. Sharma had a motive to harm Mr. Kumar? Explain the concept of judicial notice under Indian Evidence Act. Can the court take judicial notice of reliability of technology used in CCTV systems or the standard practices in digital forensics? Okay. So 25 marks to question. So each point or each bit को 5 mark ताले each bit को अपना 5 minute time दे परिवे. Okay, so then I'll discuss in details model answers आरो जो folder टा अच्छे अपन कर app रे देखो तो application based questions सेठी जिबे तापरे procedural laws folder को जिबे तो सेठी set 1. Okay, set 1 questions तापरे set 1 answers तो सही तरह अपन को model answers टा मिलिबो. ठीक अछि. So a type of questions अपना basic practice करंतु because we are not sure एथर को भी प्राय बहुत questions एमती आस पारे. Okay, so you will be ready. जेतेबेले questions रो answer करिवे तीनटा आंसर मन रखिवे. गोटे जा भी देछि facts of the situation कोन कोन relevant provisions लागू होछि प्लस जदि आपण मन रख पारुचंती सेही ओके केस पई और सेही सिचुएशन पई जदि किछि मैक्सिम्स दे परिबे। थर्ड सेही पर्टिकुलर सिचुएशन पई जदि लैंडमार्क की रिसेंट केसेस अछि जेमति कि एटी सीसीटीवी फुटेज पई तो लैंडमार्क सुप्रीम कोर्ट केसेस अछि कि सीसीटीवी फुटेज की डिजिटल की इलेक्ट्रॉनिक एविडेंस को एक्सेप्ट करबा आगुरु ओके कोनटा कोर्ट एश्योर करिवे सो दैट सेटा टेम्पर हेनी कि आउ किछि हेनी ओके जोटा कि पूरा मेजरली चेंज हेजु एबे साक्ष्य अधिनियम बे ठीक अछि रेड अलोंग विथ आईटी एक्ट ओके तो सेटा रहिला तारो जदि आपण रेलेवेंट जेमति कि बेस्ट ओके आपनकर एविडेंस रूल जदि जो जगह मते लागुची मु सेठी जोटा हमें देखिथिलु तारो रिलेटेड मैक्सिमटा जदि मन रहउची काना एगुडा सब मार्क को बढ़ाइबो वैल्यू ऑफ द मार्क्स विल इंक्रीज से मैक्सिमटा यूज करिवे ठीक अछि तो आउ रेलेवेंट आउ लैंडमार्क केसेस रिसेंट केसेस लैंडमार्क केसेस से गुडा भी दबा पई चेष्टा करिवे ओके लिखि सरला परे कंपेयर इट विथ द मॉडल आंसर राइट